Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we have got, I believe, day 30 of the World Cup review. I'm recording this and uploading this slightly later, about a day or two after these games finished. Just decided to take, a bit of a break away from just talking about football, I guess, because there's so much games going on, and you know just let it digest a little bit, let it sink in a little bit, and then we'll be back talking about it. And here we are. Now tonight, France play football and they play against Spain, so that will be an absolutely huge game. I think pre-tournament top two, or at least two of the top three favorites, along with Argentina, who are also there, who will be taking on England, which we'll get to in a second. But look, I think France will win this game. I think France will win the World Cup. I just look at this team and I think they want revenge. They want, that World Cup back in their hands. And when you have a team with a front four of Mbappe, Dembele, Olise, and Doué, or in some games Barcola, and you have got a very solid midfield and defense. Not the best, in terms of their strengths, but still a very solid base, a very solid foundation. The spine of the team is pretty good, and I think that is something that will absolutely, be crucial when they play Spain. And I think Spain will be more offensive than we have seen them in certain games this season, this World Cup so far. But I just don't think Spain have it in them to kill off France, and I think France have it in them to kill off Spain. And so far, in every or most Spain games, they're hanging on to a one-goal win, and I just don't see them being able to outscore France whilst ensuring that they don't concede, if you know what I'm saying. So I don't see a 1-0 or 2-1 Spain win. I think France will score 3 or 4. And if France do score 3 or 4, can Spain score 4 or 5? And I don't see that. We haven't seen them do it against the top teams yet. Against Portugal, a 91st minute winner. Against Belgium, an 89th minute winner. And, a win is a win. And it's great to have players who can come on like Marino and, make the impact. But I just think that, relying on one player to come on and, save you, and, save the team from elimination is very dangerous. It shows that, you're not able to win until the very end, and, sometimes your strengths can become a weakness, and I think that will be a weakness France will target. And by the time Spain bring Marina on, it might be a bit too late. They might be 2 or 3 goals down, and I don't think Marino can come on and score a hat trick. But I digress. We are here to talk about the final set of quarter-final games. Um, First we had Norway against England. That was a pretty decent game. Jude Bellingham. I want to talk about this very quickly. Jose Mourinho, if you are watching the World Cup, which I'm sure you are, please, Jude Bellingham is best as a false nine, an attacking 10, a player who is able to make runs into the box, drift into the box, carry the ball into the box, and score. Okay, don't limit this guy's, you know, on the pitch abilities to just being a number 8, a deep lying playmaker. Right? Let this guy thrive. Let he get into the box. What Carlo Ancelotti did in the Champions League winning season in the 23-24 season was exactly that. He saw that Bellingham was able to make those runs into the box essentially as a false nine attacking 10, and then you would have Vini and Rodrigo as a front two. For me, I don't mind having Vini and Mbappe as the front two with Bellingham doing the same. I think we can easily do the same. And what that also does for Real Madrid is it solves the right wing issue. Because when you're playing a front two, you have got two attackers, two strikers, who are able to interchange, who are able to drift to either side of the wing, but also stay centrally. The moment you have a front three, you need a right winger to hug the touchline on the right. And at Real Madrid, we don't have that right now. Right? Rodrigo is injured. I don't think Brahim is the guy for the long term. I don't think Endrick's a right winger. I don't think Mastantuono is favoured. I don't believe that Real Madrid will sign a proper right winger like Olise. So with that said, we should just play a front two. The 4-2-3-1 is something that I think Jose Mourinho will be, contemplating a lot. But I'm wondering why. Why put yourself in the position, right? You have to make the decision on the right wing now. And when you have a right winger, you cannot give Bellingham that license to move forward because you need him to stay back to help out a bit more defensively as well. So look, Jose Mourinho will have his own thing as long as he's able to make Real Madrid successful again. I'm not bothered, but let's see. But Jude Bellingham is an absolute beast. 2 goals, the first one was incredible. Running with the ball. We saw that what he did against Napoli a few years ago as well. His ability to carry the ball, to dribble and run with the ball, to protect the ball, and then to still manage to finish under the amount of pressure. It's incredible from Jude Bellingham, and he's a finisher. He's a scorer. He's able to strike the ball well. In situations where you look and you think, it's easy to hit it straight at the keeper or to blast it wide off the post. But this guy finds a way to perfectly slot it into the back of the net. And that is something I admire from him. And then, first of all, the first goal for Norway, Schauderup, what a fucking goal. I mean, I don't think it's getting talked about enough. But, I mean, when I first saw that goal, I was thinking, are you mad, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like, fair enough, you've scored, but I was thinking, what could possibly be on his mind to attempt it? Like, what could he have been thinking at that point in time to try that? I don't know, and we probably never will know unless he tells us. But I mean, the fact that he, took that on, and he took a shot with his weaker left foot as not weaker, but on the left foot, on the left flank. Right, usually on the left flank you want to cut in onto your right, and vice versa on the right flank. But on his left foot on the left flank, to smash it like prime Roberto Carlos is just incredible. And then, the winning goal in extra time, it's just Jude Bellingham really again. The shot from Rodgers from distance. Nyland makes the mistake that we saw Saint Lermont make, against Spain. And I think those are two very preventable errors, but such is life. It happens to the best of us. And Bellingham again, he's there. It reminds me again, I believe, it's similar. It's not exactly the same, but of his goal against Stuttgart. I believe it was. Was it Stuttgart? No, was it Stuttgart? No, it was Union Berlin. Sorry, it was Union Berlin 2 seasons. Technically 3 seasons ago now, right? That first game when Real Madrid won 1-0 at the Bernabeu, and it was like the most tense game against Union Berlin. And wait, was it Union Berlin or was it La Liga against Getafe? Either ways, it was one of those games, right? He was just there. The shot came in. I think it was from Fede Valverde. The keeper makes the save. It spills off the keeper. It falls to Bellingham, who just scores. And again, that happened again with Nyland. But look, I'm very happy for Jude. I hate to admit it, but I don't want Argentina to win this World Cup. And I think they've had a very easy run so far. And Norway are a very good team, but I don't think Norway have that amount of quality as a team to be able to go toe-to-toe with Argentina. I think England have a way better chance. They've got all-round very good players. Kane, Bellingham, my man Elliot Anderson. They've got some good wingers as well. Declan Rice, a decent backline. I don't think Argentina's backline, is particularly crazy. That is a team that is more, again, based on going forward, the likes of Messi, Alvarez, um, etc. So look, it's going to be a tough game, but I think at least we got a better and bigger shot with England than Norway. But look, I don't think Norway should feel disappointed. Yes, they should in terms of getting knocked out, but you know, I thought they did all they could. I thought they were, incredible this World Cup. I didn't expect them to beat Brazil, who I had as one of my dark horses in terms of doing well, and they flopped. But Norway were the ones who stopped them. Haaland was the one who stopped them, right? And I thought Norway in the group stages looked very good as well, which I didn't expect against the likes of Senegal. They looked incredible. You know, this is a side that are playing their first World Cup in 2 decades, aren't they? And for them to perform this well, not just based on how far they've gone, but the performance, how you see them on the pitch, the way they're playing, I think that is something to appreciate and give credit to. So fair play, England are true, and again, Jude Bellingham's the man. Now, speaking of Argentina, they also won, with no surprise. Um, for this, I just don't really have much to talk about, really. It's not really that exciting of a game. McAllister's got the header. Alvarez got an absolutely crazy banging goal. I think that you have to give him credit. Dan Ndoye, nice little 1-2 and score. And Lautaro Martinez, on the rebound score. But I didn't feel like Argentina were insane. Like, they didn't dominate in terms of getting the job done in the 90 minutes. They didn't particularly look that great. This does not look like a world champion defending team, and it's 3 games now against Cape Verde, Egypt, and Switzerland where they've had to dig deep, really deep. And like I said earlier, right? I think against Norway are capable of bringing Argentina to extra time, but they might fold in extra time. Whereas I look at England and I think England could be able to beat them in 90, but even in extra time, I don't see England folding, in terms of outright just folding. I think they will give Argentina a very good game, and they could win in extra time, they could lose in extra time, or again, they could bring it to penalties. But I think the most important part is we have 4 top nations, top teams at this stage, and I think England Argentina is gonna be an incredible game. And it's just it's just nice to have that. Now, look, I think that's it. I don't think there's much more I want to talk about for this game, really. Just a quick add on that Haaland foul on Elliot Anderson is definitely a foul. I mean, he grabbed him and then he just pushed him to the ground, like shoved him straight to the ground. I don't understand why people are appealing and they're even discussing it. I think there's a clear foul, and I think that this alert goal makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But that's it. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, hit the button, subscribe to just on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.